Force for organizing this very timely Catalan conference. I have been asked to speak on the end frustration for the just and lasting peace. A just and lasting peace. You'll hear that phrase very often these days. It's like a new phrase, the in word. Even Trump calls for a just and lasting peace. Does he even know what that means? What does a just and lasting peace mean in reality? First of all, a just and lasting peace does not mean the silencing of the gods. Even if the gods are silenced, but the same structures and systems that brought about the armed conflict remain, there cannot be peace. Those who took up arms, we take them up again. The peace will not be just and lasting. For the NBF, a just and lasting peace is stated in the Hague Joint Declaration. This was the first peace document signed by the NBF with the government of the Republic of the Philippines, the GRP, in 1992. It is a short and simple document, but it gives the framework or the roadmap, that's another popular term these days, of our vision for a just and lasting peace. The document starts by saying that the purpose of peace negotiations is to resolve the armed conflict, that the goal of is the attainment of a just and lasting peace. The Hague Joint Declaration continues. The holding of peace negotiations must be in accordance with mutually acceptable principles, including national sovereignty, democracy, and social justice, and no precondition shall be made to negate the inherent character and purpose of peace negotiations. This last phrase means no surrender or no pressure to surrender, because that is not the purpose and character of peace negotiations. The Hague Joint Declaration concludes with a four-point agenda for peace talks: human rights and international humanitarian law, socio-economic reforms, political and constitutional reforms, and end of hostilities and disposition of forces. The NDFP and GRP have already finished discussing the first agenda point. The result was the signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on Respect for Human Rights and International Humanitarian Law, or more popularly known as the CARIL. We signed the agreement in 1998. On human rights, the document says, this agreement seeks to confront, remedy, and prevent the most serious human rights violations in terms of civil and political rights, as well as to uphold, protect, and promote the full scope of human rights and fundamental freedoms. On the section of international humanitarian law, it states, in the exercise of their inherent rights, the parties to the armed conflict shall adhere to and be bound by the generally accepted principles and standards of international humanitarian law. The CARIL is not a document of motherhood statements, but based on the concrete realities in the Philippines. The section on international humanitarian law follows the rules of war of the Geneva Conventions. Unfortunately, as we all know, this agreement is not being followed at all by the other side. The next agenda item, which we have been discussing since 1998, is on social economic reforms. With the signing of the CARIL, both parties exchanged draft documents of the social economic reforms. 1998, that is a record of 27 years discussing social economic reforms. Why so long? because we are discussing the roots of the armed conflict, the roots why we do not have peace. And the GRP has used every occasion to stop, to terminate, to suspend, to terminate, to stop, anything so that the process does not move forward. On their part, we in the NDF have even published a book on our proposed agenda for socio-economic reforms. Among the topics that the NDF would like to discuss are economic sovereignty and national patrimony, agrarian reform and agricultural development, national industrialization and economic development, economic planning, the rights of the working people, livelihood and social services, environmental protection, rehabilitation and compensation, and foreign economic and trade relations. These are just some of the topics that are supposed to be discussed. From the proposed topics, you can easily understand why the GRP finds it really hard to discuss these topics. Both panels have spent many years working on this document. It has taken so long because, as I said, there have been suspensions, changes of presidents, delays, etc. In a way, it is an unspoken thing, but they don't want to talk about and agree to the resolution of the armed conflict. They want to keep the situation as it is, with they in power and they continue to oppressing the people. Talks were going on well during the first year of Duterte's administration. As a matter of fact, just before Duterte terminated the peace talks in 2017, both sides agreed to the free distribution of land to the vessels. And then Duterte terminated the talks and put the NDF on the terrorist list. The third agenda points, political and constitutional reforms, is a logical agenda point. Agreements made for socio-economic reforms will need political and constitutional changes. When the roots of the armed conflict have been addressed, then there can be an end of hostilities and disposition of forces. The GRP always wants to discuss the fourth point first. They want the NDF to lay down the arms and then talk. With the present situation in the Philippines, until the roots of the armed conflict are addressed, there will never be peace. What will continue will be the bombings in the countryside, the EJKs, the red tagging, arrest of NDF consultants, terrorist labeling, etc. The GRP generals do not want peace. They want to win the war militarily. That is why they want the laying down of arms. But laying down of arms is not peace. Not hearing the explosion of the guns is not peace. Peace, a just and lasting peace, is when the Philippines is free from the control of imperialism, when there is real democracy and justice, when there is food for everyone, land for the landless, jobs, health care, education for everyone, and decent housing for all. Then we can say, yes, there is peace. To attain a just and lasting peace is a long and difficult struggle. But it is a struggle we have to wage if we want to be truly free. Thank you. And I would like to take this occasion to give this replica of the painting of Picasso on peace. I want to give it to Eicher and to Equivoice to thank them for their struggle let us all have a just